Story time. Woohoo! So a lot of people may not know this, but I actually quit Everquest like 3 times from live on up. And the very first time that I quit, it was I think I was like level, I think I was in the low 20s.
Hey noobs!
And we had no gear whatsoever. We had very, very crappy items. This is back in, I think, Classic. I don't know what expansion was actually out at the time, but it was pretty early on. And we had died. High Pass Keep. And for us to even get to High Pass Keep, I think we were, my wife and I at the time played, we were bound in Freeport. Every time we died, we'd get sent back to Freeport.
You shall not pass!
And we'd have to run naked because back in the day, I don't know if some of you probably remember this, like when you died, your gear stayed with your body. And if you didn't get back to your body or get a res and loot all your equipment, it just would disintegrate in like 7 days and you'd have no gear anymore. Also, in addition to that, you lost experience, so you de-leveled, which I de-leveled a lot back then. But back to the point, when we died in Highhold Keep, which took us forever to get to.
Are we there yet? No, we are not! Are we there yet? No!
We could not get our corpses back. We were at that level range where if we did make it the run through Ithaca Forest naked.
We're good! Streaky! Yeah!
For those of you that don't remember, Ithaca Forest was a really big deal because when you run from the Common Lands all the way to High Pass, you literally wait at the zone until it's morning time, because during the nighttime in Ithaca Forest, some higher level mobs roam the zone, I think in the 30 to 40s range maybe, and even though you run on the wall, it's not like a guaranteed success that you actually make it through there before the next day, before they respawn. So you kind of time it like 6 a.m. or whatever it was, like you just start running.
Run, Forrest, run!
And we don't have SAO, regular run speed to go along the wall. And once you see like Rivervale, you know you're getting closer and you can almost make it. You pray that nothing got close enough to the wall to aggro you from so far away. If it was nighttime when you went through, but most of the time we waited till morning and we tried to make that run. So that's why the actual Kithakor run was like a really big deal back in the day.
It's a ship that made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs.
And to actually experience that when it was difficult on live was one of the things I'm always going to remember about the game, because like your heart would start thumping like you got to make this shit, because if you die, guess what? Back to Freeport, running all the way back across naked. So that's the thing with Kithakor. We couldn't make it through the High Pass hold to get to the keep. Even have a chance of getting our bodies. But we had no chance.
What are my chances?
Not good.
We had no one that could buff us. I didn't know anybody that was high level. Nobody could port us any closer or help us get our bodies back. It took us 9 fucking hours.
9
To get our bodies back. And after we finally got our bodies back, we just said, you know what? This game is like huge time sink. Like, we're done. We're not going to play this shit anymore. That lasted for maybe like a year. I think I probably played like a Diablo or maybe Diablo 2 for a little bit and then came back to Everquest again. And I quit a couple more times over some other tedious shit because it just took so much time. I mean, it takes a lot of time now, but it took so much time.
You don't have time? What the fuck are you talking about?
Back then. You're talking 9 hours corpse runs just to have a chance of getting your gear back.
9!
It was insane. Nothing compared to anything that we have going on now. And back then, it was really hard to multi-box. I think I had like satellite internet, which was faster download speed than dial-up. And I had these old computers, I think, and a laptop that would overheat, so I'd lift it up on books and I'd blow a fan through it to cool it down. And I think maybe I could get 3 or 4 characters on before it started really laggy where my internet connection wouldn't actually hold it anymore. Like I said, starting out, you know, when we went places, it took forever to get there. And if we died, it was fucking hours to get back if we ever got back. And I think the second time I ended up quitting, I actually just left my shit and said, fuck it, I'm done.
I've no more fucks to give, my fucks have runneth dry. I tried to go fuck shopping, but there's no fucks left to buy.
I think I might have been in the army at the time. You can see in these pictures, we were so mad that we got broom handles and like printer paper and wrote EverQuest Strike on some white piece of paper and took pictures probably off our fucking Polaroids. So I had to have these developed, these pictures I probably had digitally taken of like actual Polaroid photographs. And I think the classes that we were playing at the time was like a Druid Warrior, which was so awful when you have no gear and no mana.
Noobs.
The heals are so low, you can't keep anybody alive, and it was just a terrible overall experience.
What the fuck did you put in that sauce?
The only reason I probably came back is because I grew up in like the Final Fantasy 1 era. The really hard Nintendo, Super Nintendo games where there's like no instructions and you make one simple mistake and you're dead and that's the end of the game. Tell the story, and if anybody else has similar experiences playing where they quit or hate this game or something they want to share, feel free to share.